Hi, this is Arthur for the Tezos dev update. So you might notice that usually the dev update is coming on a Thursday. I was traveling yesterday, so this one is coming on a Friday. But I think going forward, I will keep making those on Friday. It's the end of the week, so it makes a little more sense. We had a lot of commits this week, a lot of updates, mostly having to do with our distributed TB and the validation logic. If you're using the AlphaNet, the one thing you will notice is we reset the AlphaNet to fix an issue where we were eating too many inodes. That was actually a regression caused by a refactoring. So that's gone. We should have a more stable AlphaNet. Also, you'll know, we're starting to actually kick out peers. So if a peer is giving you bad data now, they're being kicked out. We have merged in a pipeline validator, which means that we're better at assignating CPU and bandwidth to different peers, so that when we validate different chains being presented by different peers, we don't get starved just by one peer giving us all of this information. We also have a lot of documentation work, so both on the documentation side and simply on the docstring side. We had a community contribution, which removed a lot of error messages we had with message sizes on the peer-to-peer layer. So that should also be visible on the AlphaNet. And so in general, most of the work that's going on right now, and most of the work that you will see if you look in the Git commits, is basically this work of progressively merging in this new validator code, which is the biggest piece that we need for Tezos in order to launch. So it's happening progressively, and as it goes, it should make the AlphaNet more stable. Now, a few folks have noticed instability in the AlphaNet over the past week, and as I explained, we have a bit of a dilemma where when we see instability in the AlphaNet that is being caused by old code that we're being replacing with the other branches, it's yes, we can fix that old code and get the AlphaNet working better immediately, but we would also rather just be like merging in the new code so that this type of problems go away. Not a lot on the Michelson. We have a few. We have better parsing and reporting in Michelin, which is the intermediate representation for Michelson, and a few tweaks. Once to give you just some sense of like the small changes that we make, they're not super interesting to talk about, but they matter. So, for example. So if you have a contract in Tezos or an address, you store the hash of the public key. Now, when you first spend it, you're going to reveal your public key. Now, unlike in Bitcoin, in principle, the UTXOs are supposed to be one use. Here, they're being reused. So an optimization is to store the public keys that corresponds to this hash once it's been revealed once on the network. Now, we used to do it just globally, so that it would be a map of all the hashes of public keys and all the known public keys that corresponded to it, which is probably the most efficient way to do it. However, it means more garbage collection when if a contract disappears, if an address doesn't exist anymore. And rather than doing this, we just added this. We just moved that public key inside the contract itself. So it means if you have two contracts with the same manager key, then you'll have a small duplication, but it's also much easier to handle. So tweaks like this, lots of those that we have. So I'll be back in Paris on Monday, back with more updates. And in the meantime, stay tuned. Please join the AlphaNets, and you can stay connected on Reddit and on our Riot chat room. Thank you.